Alrighty, we'll get underway. Welcome everyone to today's Simple Fund 360 partner webinar. Today we are looking at mastering SMSF success with BGL and Canni. My name is Brad Wilkinson and I head up the ecosystem team at BGL. So before we get into it, we'll just have a look at some housekeeping rules, just so you're aware of that. So as per usual with our webinars, the webinar is being recorded and attendees will receive an email of the recording at the end of the webinar. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask those questions in the Q&A. We'll try to answer them as we go, or worst case, we'll get to them by the end of the session. So feel free to ask. Okay, so it's my pleasure to welcome the newest member of the BGL ecosystem, Canni Money. And from Canni, we have Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Brad. Hello, how are you? Great to see you guys.
Yeah, great to see you as well, mate. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. And I really appreciate the time you put aside and all of our participants today to have a chat with us. So good to see you, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our pleasure. And we also have Damo, who heads up the account management team, joining us. Welcome, Damo.
Thanks, Brad. How are you?
I'm good.
Looking forward to working with you both on this webinar.
Yeah. So Damo and Steve, you have a bit of a working history, so it's good to reunite again with today's webinar.
We certainly do. It's good to see you, Damo.
Yes, definitely likewise.
Cool. So look, I guess Steve will take us through today's webinar and show us, I guess the solution he's built and a bit of background as well. So it's exciting sort of 30, 40 minutes ahead. What I might do, I'll hand over the reins to Steve and we'll go from there.
Thanks very much, Brad. And it's great to be here with the guys from BGL. I've got a long history with the team and I really enjoy working with the whole crew there. It's also exciting to see so many familiar faces on our panel today and on our audience. So hello to everybody I've met in the past and a special hello to all the people that I haven't met before. I look forward to working with a number of you in the time coming. So I want to kick off today a little bit about our product, SMSF Optimiser by Canni. And I want to set the scene as to why we're here and what are we doing to help accountants fundamentally change the way they work with their SMSF clients and really provide value back into that base so you can start to see some great relationships form, retain those customers, and build even a better existing network with those key stakeholders that you have around you. So I'm not the first person to say this, and I'm sure the gents on the phone would agree. Costs right now are top of mind for everybody out there, particularly among individuals. We've got a lot of companies that are reviewing their cost structures. And so what does it actually mean for businesses, for your clients today, when they're reviewing costs? And the way I boiled this down, and I think it's important to take a step back and really reflect on this as a business owner or as a partner or a manager or as an accountant in a firm. Whilst everybody's reviewing their costs, it's important to understand that in order to stand out from the crowd, there's some really simple and easy things you can do and implement strategies that will allow you to retain that particular customer and not take their business for granted. We've seen a lot of things go up in price in the last couple of months, and particularly the last 12 months. Now's a really important time because this is when many accounting firms are spending time with their clients, producing end-of-year financial reports. And I can tell you right now, the line item that says accounting fees is one of the line items that are being reviewed to make sure they're getting the most value from their relationship with you as their trusted advisor. So how did our business come about? And we established this organization by looking at some huge opportunities that are in the market right now that would allow SMSF trustees to really hone in on increasing their retirement savings as time goes on. So there's some clear cost saving opportunities. And one of those that we picked up was LRBA financing for their rental properties in their SMSFs. Now, not many people know this, but the majority of loans that are out there that are more than 2 years old or are with some of the larger institutions are typically looking at interest rates of 9% or above. And it was interesting, Damien and I had a bit of a chat about a week ago about this, and the old set and forget rule of loans is well and truly gone. We were shocked, to be quite honest, to understand and hear that some of our clients were paying in excess of 9% of loans. And the savings that are available through just this particular area of what SMSF Optimiser by Canni can do is quite outstanding. And like in the example I've got here on the screen for you, we're actually able to help accountants unlock savings for their SMSF clients by achieving really, really great new interest rates. And an example here of $650K loan, we're talking about just under a $300,000 saving for your clients that they can push back into their SMSFs and really benefit what it looks like from a nest egg perspective going forward. Now, this is an example.
I was going to say, Steve, yeah, I mean, on a personal note on this, it's, I guess, like we all potentially experience this. I know with my own home loan, if you don't call the bank every year or two, you notice there's a rate creep. And I guess with SMSF, as you sort of touched on, a lot of people do, it is set and forget, and it's in the back of their mind, and they wouldn't even know that they're missing out on this type of thing that you're mentioning. So it's one of those things you have to keep on your toes about. And I guess as an accountant, this information could be quite handy to help people out. So.
Yeah, absolutely front of mind. And I think the great news here, Brad, right, is that initially our dream and I guess our vision was born from this concept of looking at what does an LRBA refinance look like. But the reality is, as we spent more time and we really engaged with your team, Brad, and understood how we can help service SMSF clients and trustees further, and once we had the connection with the BGL interface and software, we're actually able to uncover even more opportunities. And so what we see here, right, is an extension of looking at how can we engage with SMSF trustees through SMSF Optimiser by Canni? How can we help accountants become the center point of informing the SMSF trustees about opportunities that are right in front of them to really grow their nest egg? And it's really important because this time is crucial right now to assist those clients. And the great news is if you can become that center point and that informer, you are one step closer to retain that customer. You are one step closer to not taking that relationship for granted. And Damien, I might have a bit of a chat about this, but this is really important. A focus point for providing value to your clients and adding value is not always being the person to physically deliver or give that information or that particular saving. It's about being the informer in the relationship. More importantly than anything else, you are the center point for some of their financial decisions. So rather than be the person who might speak with their client on an annual basis, there's real opportunity for us to speak with our clients informally or formally on a more frequent basis. And Damien, with your team and the client base, I mean, I understand that BGL work with their clients on a really frequent basis, and that allows you to have open conversations. But there's so many examples where things can get missed, and it might only take a month or two, but relationships can get derailed very quickly if you're not in contact with your client on a frequent basis. Any stories that you can think of that you've come across recently?
Definitely, Steve. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of clients, especially around 30 June, where that's a time where a lot of accountants and their clients are looking to do property evaluations before 30 June. So it's definitely one where it's an opportunity for clients to be able to have those discussions with the trustees and determine some better interest rates and things where they can add value and to save more for their nest egg, as you said, with their super.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's all about demonstrating that you are available to the client. And just like our counterparts might do in the business advisory space, I mean, a self-managed super fund is like the centralized vehicle for a client's net worth and to really maximize what it looks like for their net wealth across their family or just for their particular individual reasons. But an SMSF is one of those areas that might be set and forget and overlooked a lot of the time. And so what we're hoping to achieve from having this platform available to BGL clients is that through SMSF Optimiser, we're going to give you the tools to be able to better inform your clients of opportunities that are right in front of them and to really grow those key stakeholder relationships that will make a difference to your clients, whether it's a formal conversation or informal. We see it as huge opportunity going forward. And so let me take you through a bit about our beliefs here at Canni and what it means for your clients. Essentially, we see the client, obviously the SMSF trustee, as the center point of all of the relationships that they have that allow that SMSF vehicle to run, be optimized, and to produce the results they're looking for. It's the accountant's role in our eyes that is the most important role in bringing the relationships together. just like the glue to a piece of paper, we see the accountant working hand in glove with the financial planners and auditors. And like I said before, we're all about allowing and enabling the accounting teams to inform their clients of opportunities that are right in front of them. We don't want the accountants to start becoming mortgage brokers. We are not interested in turning our accountants into the sales team, because that's not the area of profession that you're in. And essentially, we want to help you help your clients grow their nest egg. And so we see through a couple of key strategies I'm going to take you through just now, that really enabling the conversations and using platforms like BGL, integrating that with SMSF Optimiser, there's a huge opportunity in front of us. And I'm really excited by this, because I think we can change the way in which we work with our clients on a more frequent basis. So a bit about BGL, obviously your awesome software, Damien and Brad. I think you guys have more than 50% market share, which is a huge testament to your team and fantastic development, obviously enabling your clients to have the best software out there for the compliance perspective. But the reality is it goes a little bit past just the compliance stage. And without having such great software involved in that compliance area, this conversation probably wouldn't happen, because all the focus would be on trying to get things done the old way. So one of the key ingredients of ensuring you have great conversations with clients is, one, having the work done in the most effective and efficient way, and BGL supports that, which is fantastic. And then also understand that working with clients, you have a great opportunity to grow your revenue streams. And like I said before, being the informer to those clients about opportunities that really could create a better retirement savings plan for those clients is ultimately the goal of an SMSF. So how do we see clients, how do we see SMSF accounting firms or accountants adding value to their clients? And here's 3 simple ways we think this could happen. Number 1 is through building trust. The second is through regular communication. And I think that's probably the most important part. And the third part is about finding opportunities. So when we talk about finding opportunities, it's really looking at, how do I identify an opportunity for a client? And how can I be that center point for informing that particular client about what's available to them? So the first part about building trust is really, really simple. When you think about the friendships you have, whether it's in the professional arena, whether it's through family and friends, outside of work, or even through school, it's all about regular contact, the ability and being in the position to provide timely advice, and then having a consistent cadence in place. That means that the client is aware you are available. There's some really easy key questions here. And I could put my hand up here, working in an accounting firm some time ago for the best part of 5 years of my life. I can tell you right now that I only spent once a year with the clients that were in my portfolio. And whilst that felt really good because I was meeting my KPIs and I was getting the work through, the client experience probably wasn't what it needed to be. And if I reflect on that now, there were so many more opportunities to increase engagement with that client base, allow them the opportunity to really delve into your minds, because as an accountant, you have so much information available that will really assist your clients, whether it's in the SMSF space or even just in the tax space. And so ask these questions of yourself and of your team. I think it will really assist you in building out that core trust and being the advisor that your client's looking for. As I said before, it's all about helping your clients and being that important central point of being able to inform them of opportunities. Regular communication seems so easy, Damien. I mean, how hard is it to pick the telephone up and send a text message or give a call? But physically doing it can sometimes be a little bit different.
Definitely sounds music to my ears. It's definitely with clients, definitely trying to find time to keep engaged with them is definitely a struggle at times.
Yeah. And I know like lots of software providers, for example, have software or CRM tools in place that will similarly interact or give you a roadmap of how often or frequently you should contact your clients. But not every accounting firm has a CRM solution. And so what we're trying to do here with Canni is provide you with a platform that will give you the ways, the timings to work with clients, add value back to the relationship. As I said, it doesn't have to be formal or informal, but it's just a way in which you can actually engage with that audience on a more frequent basis. So we recommend every 90 days. And funnily enough, I did see an article recently where it looks like the ATO are steering towards having more regular reporting. So that's always exciting from the ATO perspective. But I think what's more exciting is that the offset of that is the ability of data, which is available live, obviously through BGL. The information is readily at hand to provide your clients with a view. I know here at Canni, we can provide clients with a breakdown of their assets and liabilities on an individual basis, which is always good for a client to be able to see. But think about the ways in which you engage with your clients, how frequently you do it, and that will ultimately build a trust with that client base moving forward. The final part here is all about identifying opportunities. And I'll tell you what, it sounds so salesy, Damien, but when you think about sales, realistically, it's all about helping the buyer or helping the person understand what's in front of them. And I'm excited by this particular area. BGL, second to none when it comes to financial management. And I would say, I'm on the caution here, but also on tax optimization for their SMSFs, because obviously you comply with the rulings from the ATO. The final part here is about investment and growth. And typically what that means, if you bring all these three together, is the accountant working fluently and intimately with the auditor and with the financial planner to achieve the goals of the SMSF trustee, right? That's the ultimate plan here. Is BGL provides the most effective and efficient solution to get that work done in a timely way. You can work with your financial planner to ensure those goals have been met, optimize their tax position for that particular business or that particular group. And as the accountant, step into the arena where you can inform your clients of opportunities that are right in front of them to help them save. And I reflect back on the initial slides where we had a loan for 650K, but a time savings of $300,000 or just under. That's significant addition to a nest egg that your clients might not be aware of. But I can tell you right now, if somebody knocked on my door, and Damien and I had a quick conversation about this, about mortgage brokers, and said, hey, there's a better deal for you here. This is how you can do it. I can tell you right now, I'd be very excited to take that on board.
Definitely agree there, Steve. Anything to save money is always a for me.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. And look, this is the thing. So as I said before, we're not looking for accountants to become mortgage brokers. In fact, it's the opposite here. Our platform's being designed with all of the smarts in the back end that will allow you to simply refer an option to a client to either save money through an LRBA, provide your client with a valuation, and I'll show you what that looks like just now. And then we'll have a couple of additional features coming out in Q1 2024 that I really think will bring together our platform and enable accountants to really have genuine, fluent conversations with their clients on a more frequent basis. So without further ado, let me take you through what the platform looks like. We've made it really easy on the eye. It's super intuitive and simple to understand. We have a couple of accounting firms already piloting our solution. We've had a couple of accountants go down the journey of looking at how they can empower their client to make a new decision around improving their SMSF standing point. So this is SMSF Optimiser by Canni. Everybody on the phone call today is able to gain free access for the next 30 days. So I'll provide to you my contact details at the end of this session and answer any questions that you have. But initially, we're going to give you free access because we see this ultimately great value here for accounting firms. And we would love to get feedback as soon as possible around what this means for you and your clients and how we can help you further. So this is the awesome part, Damien and Brad. There is hardly any work involved here from an accounting firm to set up the integration with BGL. And thanks to the awesome development of the BGL cloud products, it means we were able to simply integrate with their tool. And as I said before, really pull some excellent data to understand what opportunities lie in front of us that are outside of just the compliance space. So the first time you log in, we want the SMSF administrator from BGL to log in, and that'll be the main champion of that particular accounting firm's group. They're going to log in and they're going to accept the terms and conditions, and that will bring you through to a realization page where we have refreshed the data straight into the Canni platform. As I said before, it's a really simple and clear design. From a holistic point of view, as a practice, you're going to see all of the super funds across your firm. You'll see the total asset and total liability breakdown. In this particular example, we've got just on 100 funds with about $130 million worth of assets under management. The scale of that is nothing to be sneezed at. This is giving you the information that's relative to what your accounting firm is providing back to your client base. And that, to me, right there is an opportunity to engage with your clients. You've got a breakdown by asset category, and then we've got some tiles at the base of this page that allow you to look at different opportunities. And as I said before, this is the area that we see growing and that we're able to provide value back to you as an accountant to better inform you of what's available to your clients. On an individual basis, you and your clients will also have the availability to log in and see assets and liability breakdown. So this is a little feature we thought would be handy for your clients. And again, this allows them to see the breakdown live, straight from the BGL data that's come through. So here's some examples of the way in which our software and platform will help you. The 6 tiles at the top of the page, we've got LRBA refinance, property insurance reviews, trustee reviews, property valuations, pensions, and cash management. Today, I'm going to take you through 3 simple workflows that will give you the tools to harness these opportunities and inform your clients of what's available for them. The first I'll take you through, which I think is one of the most exciting, and particularly for those clients who have had LRBA for some time, more than 2 years, with one of the large institutions as well. This is an area where they're going to get great opportunity to really increase what they have in the value of their self-managed super fund. So we've made this really simple, guys, and what it means is all we're asking accountants to do is click refer, and we can then send off to your client a simple due diligence process. They don't even talk to their existing bank, and they can make the savings happen for them in less than a week. So typically LRBAs can take some time and they're quite an arduous process. We have nailed this down in a digital format so that we can literally turn around a loan in less than a week and provide your clients value literally at the click of a mouse. So what do? You jump into the LRBA tile and you select your particular fund. The first thing you need to do is edit the property details because we want to verify the right address. And the reason why I'm doing this now, I'm going to give you a little tip. This will make it easier when you go to do your estimates for your valuations later on. And I'll talk about that next. So we're going to confirm it's a residential property or commercial. We'll confirm if it's a strata or freehold. You want to enter in the purchase date, the estimated value, the current loan amount, their interest rate, and the bank they're currently with. Once you go next, it'll then give you the next screen, which allows you to have a think about whether you wanted to on-charge for this particular service. Now, obviously working with your clients, there'll be some time incurred. So we've given you a mechanism here where you can include a fee, but it's completely up to you whether you want to include a fee or not. If you think this is a way you can add value back into the relationship with your client and you want to leave it at $0, that is no problems at all. But what this screen will enable you to do is look at the savings that your client may be able to get through the LRBA refinance. So when I go to the next screen, and just like I showed you originally, on a loan of 650K with an interest rate of 9% and the new rate being 7.25, you're looking at a 20% discount. Damien's nodding his head thinking I can spend that 300K somewhere else pretty quickly, and I'm sure Brad is too.
Hopefully a new car, Steve.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. You'll get yourself a nice high-powered supercar through that sort of value. But if you think about the smiles on the guy's face, but also what it means for your SMSF trustees, if I were to know this was available, there is no doubt in my mind that I'd be asking my accountant for this opportunity. And like I said before, this is all about informing your clients and referring the work on. And this shows to them what opportunities are available to them. So it really starts to build the trust between your relationship and those that you have around you. And like I said before, this is not about you becoming a mortgage broker. Once you click refer, our team will then take care of the rest. Your client will then do the due diligence like they normally would for any sort of financial investment or loan, and then we can process for that for them in less than a week, which is super quick in terms of what happens these days. The next part I want to take you through, and Damien, you're excited by this, is doing property valuations, and I think this is a huge win for BGL and Canni. And I think you said, I don't know, we said last week, but some of the suppliers are taking a little bit longer to get valuations. It's not as easy as we'd hoped, which is unfortunate in today's digital world. But I think we've nailed a little solution here. And to give you some information about what this looks like, right now we're allowing accountants to do as many estimate valuations as they like. So when they log into the software and they see their funds pop up, you can go through and do this for any property you like. For an audit valuation, there'll be a charge of less than $50. And at this stage, we're just doing residential. But the reason why I'm super excited, Damien, is that in Q1 2024, we will have commercial valuations ready in the exact same approach, and they will be significantly less cost than what the accounting firms are going through today, because we've digitized the process. So this is a huge win for accountants and a huge win for SMSF trustees. So all you do is you click the little hammer, and that will present you with Get Property Valuation screen. So again, you need to verify the address here. I'll give you a little tip. If it's a unit or a level of a particular building, put in the main address first. And once you've clicked the Verify Address button right where the tick is right now, it will give you a list of properties and addresses that you can choose from on the second half of the screen. So as I said before, for an audit purpose, there will be a charge of less than $50. But for just a review, they're absolutely free, and you can do it as many times as you like. Again, if you're spending some time here and want to on charge to your client a particular fee, you can. So we've included that mechanism. It's completely at your discretion whether you go down that path or not. So once I click the icon, I want to get the valuation. It'll then produce the valuation for me. In a simple of 2 to 3 mouse clicks, I've got a full valuation. I've got current sales around that particular area. I have lower quartile, median, and upper quartile that I can produce and send to the client, literally the click of a mouse. So I hope they get some cheers, Damien. I think that's a big win for accounting firms. And I'm super excited to see the commercial valuations come through, and we'll keep everybody informed on the line today so that they are part of that process as soon as it's available.
Definitely agreed there, Steve. It's going to make it much easier for clients to be able to get property valuations across both commercial and like residential properties all in the one platform, plus also the refinancing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, this is all about growing trust, right? So we don't want to take our clients' relationships for granted. It's these simple things that will allow your practice to engage with the clients informally or formally and allow you to really build that relationship you have in place, retain the client, but also add value back to what you do on a day-to-day basis. All right, Damien, the final workflow I want to take you through, and this is something that we've just brought out, which is called Smart Emails by Canni. And it's a simple marketing tool for your SMSF clients. Now, what we've done here on a global scale is design the opportunity so that you can go through, you can simply select particular criteria, and you can email and mass market to your client base particular opportunities. So again, this is enabling you to work at scale, look at just particular funds based on criteria that you select, and get that information out to your clients so that you and your team can engage and really take those conversations further with your client base. So what's going to come down the path, and I've showed you 3 workflows today, and this is what we're really excited by. So as a platform, we're bringing together multiple databases, multiple solutions, so we can provide back to our client base at BGL work that's available, opportunities that are available, and inform your client base of what we can do next. So right now we have LRBA refinancing available, which is a tick, and I'm super excited. We'd love to see some clients grow their savings accounts by Canni being involved. We've got valuations from a residential property perspective already available, with commercial valuations to come soon thereafter. We've got smart email available in the next 2 weeks. And then going forward, we're going to have insurance, we're going to have updated deeds and documents available through your preferred supplier. And then we'll have also the option to work with Accountants GPS and provide fund reviews, so you can really start to bring together that decoupled experience that you're probably going through today, and allow you to work with your clients on scale in so much more of an efficient and effective manner that will make being the informed advisor so much more easier for your staff and yourselves, that this will become a real easy and habitual operation with your clients on a frequent basis. All right, so here's how you can get on board, and my email address is there. It's with the PH, it's Stephen _Watts at cannimoney.com. I'm also available on LinkedIn if you wanted to go through that particular channel. And you can also reach us on our website, which is cannimoney.com. For all the people attending today's webinar, you'll have a free 30-day trial. We'll provide you with a unique code. We won't require any credit cards. And it means you can get on board today, take a look at what's available, surprise your clients with some awesome savings and maybe a valuation here or there, but really start to hone in on being the informed advisor and actually take your relationship with your clients to the next level in some regard, but be able to provide them some really easy, accessible information to help them grow their retirement savings. Brad Wilkinson, I will pass back to you to wrap up our session. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That's a great session. I just had a question for you, actually, just
Sure.
regarding, I mean, you sort of touched on this, but regarding advice and where we sort of crossed the line, because we're talking primarily to accountants here. If you can maybe unravel that a little bit and expand on, where this sits in that sort of that concept.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, and it's really important. So, as I said before, we're not looking for accountants to become mortgage brokers. That's definitely not the path. So we've been working with a number of legal firms to get some really solid advice around what this looks like for an accountant to only refer an opportunity to a client. And so what that means is if your clients and financial planners have in place a statement of advice that allows them to own or mortgage out a rental property, then we are within the guidelines to be able to provide to you as the accounting firm and your SMSF trustees better options to maximize that opportunity that's already inside the statement of advice. So that's good news. It means you're not becoming a mortgage broker. But the great news, I think, is that you're actually able to do what you love, which is to provide your clients with the best value that they can get, provide your clients with the best advice they can get, and actually crystallize some of those returns that are available right now that they may not be aware of.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Then it's more about opening up eyes to opportunities and not changing a plan or the advice that was initially given. So yeah, thanks.
That's exactly right, Brad. Yeah, you nailed it there, mate. It's all about making sure they've got open eyes to opportunities in front of them. Absolutely agree.
Wonderful. All right. Look, it probably wraps up the session. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask in the Q&A, and we'll hang around and help answer those questions. But short of that, I just want to say a big thank you to Steve. That was a wonderful session. It's opened up our eyes a lot, and it's been great working with you and the team over the past months to set up this integration. And you've been a great team to work with. So just want to say a big thank you for that as well. And thanks Damo, for joining in as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Damien. It's been a pleasure to work with you both. As I said, if you'd like to ask any questions, we'll hang around for a couple of minutes. Feel free to reach out to me directly on my email, which is stephen.watts@cannimoney.com. We'd love to get you on board. Looks like one question just came through, Brad. And the costs, I love this question, which is always good. So for the first 30 days, there is no cost. There will be a practice fee based on the number of super funds you have. Those costs are available on our website. But the great news is I can tell you right now that the costs are very, very good value. So we're looking at about $200 a month for firms with less than 200 funds. Then we have another tier, which is $300 to $500, which is about $300 a month. And then above 500 funds, we're looking at about $500 a month. But those costs are available to you. And we'd love to get your feedback. So I would say initially jump on board. I will provide you with that free 30-day code. And then from there, if you choose to go ahead and you want to use it, we'd love to have a discussion and work together to make sure that fee structure works for our firms. But we see huge value available, particularly for giving out the valuations. Like I said, Damien, it's a big opportunity. And if you can get that on the fly, at no cost for just the estimates, and I think you're already in front.
Definitely agreed, Steve. One other question that some clients may ask as well is, can we pick and choose what funds we want to integrate with Canni?
Sure. So at this stage, it's not an opportunity. We are all in or nothing. And the reason for that is super funds obviously change over time. We want to be able to provide you with the best information so you can make those informed stories available for your clients. So we don't want to cut a nose off to spite our face. We see there's a big opportunity, obviously, to provide clients and to use the mass marketing tool to look at clients who've got trustees that need renewing insurance policies that might need renewing, or even putting in insurance policies, we see there's a big opportunity to have all of your clients on board. So at this stage, it's all in for the Canni platform.
It's good to know.
Doesn't look like any other questions popping up, but as you said, we'll hang around for a few minutes if something does pop up. But I guess otherwise, it's it's been great hearing from you, Steve, and thanks everyone for joining today. It's always a pleasure to welcome everyone to an ecosystem partner webinar. So thanks for joining, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Brad.